We don't just talk about the news, we talk to those making news. This is the Steve Malzberg Show.
All right, folks, we are back, and we are joined by the former governor of the great state of Maryland and author of a book with the best name ever in the post-Obama election era. And the book is called America, Hope for Change. And joining us now is former Governor Robert Ehrlich. Hello, sir. How are you, Governor?
Steve, I need to take you around with me as I do my book tour because you are the best advocate for this book possible.
Well, I just told you should make T-shirts and bumper stickers.
You know what? I'm going to do the T-shirts. We'll do it.
And
I'm sending you the first one.
I was going to say extra large.
Okay, done.
One for me and one for my son. It's the best. It's a great title. And look, in all seriousness, you just came back. You just came back from a great book signing.
Yeah, I mean Hillsdale College just has it going. I'm a big fan of that school. It's the first time I've been there, although I've been a big fan. I read their publications regularly, and I'm a Churchill file as well. And to see a school that teaches freedom, it's all about freedom and markets, and with the appropriate religious component, and a liberal arts school that graduates smart kids. They got it going out there, and I certainly recommend it to high school seniors, high school juniors. Take a look at it. Hillsdale College.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. I want you to hear something that Hillary said the other day, which I just want to get your opinion on this because I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I just can't believe the words that came out of her mouth. Here it is.
As men and women age, men are tired of the race. I mean, they've been running it since their late teens. They're exhausted. All they want to do is take a deep breath. They want to retire. They want to play golf. They want to, just enjoy life. And women are raring to go because they feel like they've fulfilled their responsibilities. Their kids are out on their own. It's now time for them to show what they can do. There's an army of women and frankly a very large group of older women who could make a real difference to America's corporations, businesses, academia, politics, you name it.
A little self-serving, perhaps?
Well, I agree with the last part, by the way. There's lots of women over 40, over 50 who are, smart and terrific. My wife's one of them, and she's not voting for Hillary Clinton. And I certainly hope that group will not vote for Hillary Clinton. So the first part is that's just searching for something to say. And can you imagine, Steve, if you would have said that or some Republican politician would have said that? My God, they'd be going crazy. They'd be picketing you.
Well, of course, it would be sexist. But to make a generalized statement like that, and to imply that
she was,
good.
It sounded like she was trying to fill space.
I don't know. To imply that it's women who raise the kids now. I thought women are in the workforce. Once the kids are out of the house, then as if they're staying home with them, which they're not as much anymore. I don't get the whole thing, to be honest with you.
You know what? It could have been trying to suck up to the senior women in this country because, as you know, that's more of a Republican voting bloc as opposed to younger women.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Who cares what she thinks? Jeez, I don't.
Well, what about this Elizabeth Warren now? They're touting her. She has a book out, and now everywhere she goes, are you running?
We should be so lucky. We should be so lucky. Just pray every night she's a nominee. Pray. 2016 is huge.
You think she could?
We screwed up in 2012. In 4 more years of damage. We have a terrific field out there. Republican governors leading the way. Really capable people. And I can't wait till this November when Harry Reid becomes minority leader, and in 2 years we'll really fix it.
All right, let's talk about some particulars here. And, the Keystone Pipeline, there's a story at Fox News today about they're calling it the next Keystone, or possibly the next Keystone with a question mark, a natural gas project where the environmentalists are going crazy. It's in your home state of Maryland, and it's the Dominion Resources. And they're looking to invest almost $4 billion to upgrade the Cove Point LNG facility. But the environmentalists are making sure that doesn't happen, and here we go again.
Yeah, with regard to the pipeline first, you remember North Carolina in the 70s, Phil Ford in the Four Corners?
Sure.
There was before the shot clock, and they'd hold the ball, and they had great dribblers, and they would just run out the clock. Does that example mean anything to you when you look at the pipeline?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I swear. Anyway, they were great North Carolina teams, but the bottom line here is he's not going to upset his environmental base, period, with regard to a major pipeline project. Forget the jobs. Cove Point, forget the jobs. This is extreme environmentalists have captured the Democratic Party. What used to be the extreme left of the Democratic Party with regard to, you name the issue, from economics to culture to the environment to labor, is now the mainstream of the Democratic Party, and here it plays out again. No surprise, Steve.
Yeah, no surprise. It's just to imply that there still needs more there's still more research that has to be done. It's just
crazy. We have to understand that. Of course, it's interesting a dichotomy, obviously, on the left between labor, who wants the jobs, and extreme environmentalists. So there's a lot of problems over there on the left when it comes to these projects, because labor stands correct on these issues. They want the jobs. They want the economic development. They want middle-income America. They want middle-income Americans. So it's kind of interesting how that plays out on the left. The press doesn't report it as such, but a lot of problems over there between those two base Democratic groups. But it goes to the point of my book. It goes to the point of this next election, midterm and presidential. This hard left cultural and economic program has to lose. It has to be stopped. It just does. And we can, in a few months, obviously, take the first step. And then in 2 years, complete the task.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you about this. It wasn't too long ago that Barack Obama echoed the cries of people like Al Sharpton, who sticks out in my mind because he's always saying it, that there's no proof. They haven't documented voter fraud. I think Obama said that there was maybe one case or 10 cases over the last 20 years of documented voter fraud. And here we have a story today at Newsmax talking about the fact that a Virginia group organized to combat election fraud says that a check of the voter rolls in, again, Maryland, your home state, and Virginia, shows that 44,000 people are registered to vote in both states. 44,000 people.
Why can't the dead ever split their vote? Why do they have to go straight ticket, by the way? That's just a parenthetical thought I have for you. But anyway, here's the deal. Voter ID, photo ID at the ballot box, they fight this stuff. It's crazy. Ballot integrity should be everyone's common denominator. Yeah,
well, of course, and they cry racism while they fight it.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's insulting.
It is insulting. It's insulting to. It's insulting. They talk about this. Now, how about the case from the Supreme Court the other day? The decision from the Supreme Court on the civil rights.
It was a 10th Amendment case. Michigan voters decided. It wasn't. That's what the court said. These voters have the right to decide their admissions practice with regard to their home state university.
Yeah, I mean, clear cut, and of course the networks, and the newspapers that I've seen, they're just fawning all over one of the 2 out of the 8 judges who dissented, and they're quoting Sonia Sotomayor as if she's the gospel.
It was 6-2. This was not close. A couple more runs in a softball game would have caught her for the slaughter rule, okay? It's 6-2.
You see, we call it now mercy, not the slaughter rule.
Yeah.
We call it the mercy rule.
We're not politically correct.
All right,
we are, actually. Sorry.
Let me ask you this about the latest from Ukraine here now. Obama said today that there are more sanctions, quote unquote, teed up, which harkens me back to the fact that he didn't go to his aunt's funeral, but he played golf. Just now that he says teed up, that always sticks in my mind. Auntie Tsatuti, who he talked about in his book, who lived in squalor and passed away, and he paid for the funeral, but he had to play golf. Anyway, more sanctions are teed up, but that's not going to mean anything to Putin.
Well, listen, people that tune into your show care about politics, and many folks who care about politics are students of history, and we know what the Vladimir Putins of the world do and have done throughout the centuries. When they see weak, they exploit. when they see a power vacuum, they take advantage of it.
Right.
And not just the United States, by the way. Western Europe, NATO, look like paper tigers. It's a joke. And by the way, there are a lot of things we can do short of military intervention. Nobody's advocating that. But he will push and push and push until sanctions become real and tangible. NATO becomes real and tangible, and we actually do something to help those poor people.
Yep.
But until that happens, bullies like Polton, they're laughing our way to the bank.
No, you're absolutely right. Governor, great to talk to you as always, sir. Appreciate
Love
it.
you, Steve. Love you doing your show, and your folks are great, and I'm become a regular guest, and I'm proud of it.
All right, well, we'll have you back even more often, and then you can be even prouder.
Hope for change, buy the T-shirts.
Yes, get me the T-shirt. All right, maybe 2%, 2 cents on every dollar, or 2 cents on every $100.
We'll negotiate. We'll work it out.
All right. On the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen, that's Governor Bob Ehrlich, former governor of the great state of Maryland. Give Me 5 is next, right here on Newsmax Television. Don't go away.
The Steve Malzberg Show.